Hey, this is Crispy990 here, and this is a review of my Kershaw Shallot 1840CKT. It's probably my favorite knife, but that's probably mostly because it's the first real decent knife I've gotten. I paid, I think, around $55 for it altogether. I got it from savsonswordsknives.com. That's a relatively cheap website. That's SAVSON swordsandknives.com. Another great website is thebladeshop.com. They have a little bit better selection and much faster customer service than Savs Swords and Knives, but they're both very competitive with pricing. But anyway, I found that I really like this knife. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I got it. It's came out in like December of '07, and I haven't found it anywhere. Just hold and try out. I really didn't have the patience to wait around for a gun show and hope it was there. I checked my local knife store and it wasn't there either. But anyway, I still really like it. It doesn't have a thumb stud or a thumb hole, which is kind of strange, but has a nice flipper. It's got some grooves in the flipper that are just there to give you a little extra grip. And so the flipper combined with the speed safe assisted opening just really gives you a smooth opening motion. It's extremely smooth and locks very solid. There's no blade play. It's got a frame lock on it, which is very sturdy. Just frame locks in general are, in my opinion, better than liner locks because it's just a larger chunk of metal sitting underneath your blade. But still, it's very easy to move out of the way and close. Once I got my hands used to it, I can just open and close it really fast. I put a lot of stock into muscle memory, as I've said before. When I get a new knife, the first few days I'll just sit there like this, just opening and closing it. If I've got nothing to do with my hands, I'll just sit here like this and open and close it. Just because that way, if you need to react as fast as you possibly can, your hands sort of know what to do already. Sounds a little weird, but once you start doing it, you'll figure out what I'm talking about. Like, I can tell you for a fact there's muscle memory in my hands because I had a CRKT M16 10KZ, and if anybody has a CRKT knife, they know it's got the auto locks. So in order to disengage the liner, you've got to push down a little lever right here. And so the first day or so I had this knife, every time I would close it, my finger would slide right here, looking for the auto lock. But anyway, onto the knife a little more. It's all stainless steel. It's got a Sandvik 13C26 stainless steel blade, I believe, with a 410 stainless steel handle. It's very, very comfortable handle. It's not like G10 or anything. It's still very smooth, but it still provides pretty good grip, just because of the ergonomics of it mostly. It's got a nice finger guard on it. Most knives with good flippers have the flipper that rotates around to become the finger guard, but with this it sort of sits in between the finger guard that's already in place, as you can see. But yeah, just the ergonomics of it is extremely comfortable, and that's in fact what caught my eye when I first got this knife, is just the overall look of it. The blade shape and the handle shape, it just looks very, very smooth. It's almost, I would almost describe it as sexy. But anyway, it's not like a Ducati or anything. I really like the blade shape. It's very sort of recurved almost. The actual edge itself is sort of recurved, which is just great for slicing. When you get a blade with a slight recurve, it sort of takes the work out of slicing a little bit. It really helps. Anyway, it has a reversible pocket clip, as you can see. I reversed it. I did that with a Kershaw T-tool, by the way. If you have a chance to get one, please do. It'll help you out so much. It's got a Phillips head, a Torx 8, and a Torx 6 bit. All you gotta do is take the bit and slide it in the little magnetic hole right here. On Kershaw knives, the T6 bit fits all the screws except for the hinge, and that's for the T8 bit. Got this for about $13 online altogether, and I just love it. It's so handy to have around for knife maintenance. But anyway, it's a rather large knife for everyday carry. It's got a 3.5-inch blade. It's the largest in the grouping of the Shallot. This is the Shallot, and the Leek is the 3-inch knife. The Scallion is the 2.25-inch knife, and the Chive is 2 inches. Now, while I've got them right here, here's the Scallion and the Leek, just for size comparison. Again, this is a 2.25-inch blade, a 3-inch blade, and a 3.5-inch blade. So it's pretty large for everyday carry knife. Generally, the ideal size for an everyday carry knife is 3 inches. But anyway, it fits very well in the pocket. I really like just tip up carry, just because it sort of takes a step out of pulling it out of your pocket. Tip down carry, you got to grab it and you're holding it like this, so you got to spin it around and then open it. With tip up carry, all you got to do is grab it and open it. But that's mostly just personal preference. Do what you like. But all the knives I have with reversible pocket clips are reversed. Overall, just a great knife. Very, very solid. You know, you can feel the strength in it. No blade play. I've thrown it into trees. Just, you know, as a quick little side fact, if you hold a knife like this, you can throw it overhand or underhand, and you can throw it relatively straight for under 10 feet or so. And threw it into a tree, and it actually stuck pretty well, and it didn't hurt the tip at all. Still very, very sharp tip. Although I think I have hurt the blade with just, you know, cheap sharpeners mostly. It still cuts okay, but I've left the factory sharpness on the Leek and the Scallion you just saw, and they're much sharper. So I'm going to take this to Bass Pro Shop and see if they'll sharpen it up for me. But it still works okay, as you can see. This is the sketch paper I always do sharpness test with, and it's a little thicker than notebook paper, just, you know, so you know. But it's still relatively sharp. You know, it does the job pretty well. With its size, it does hacking pretty well. There's some plants out on my driveway that I cleared off the other day. They're about 1 centimeter thick from the stems, and I, you know, just one quick swing and took care of those. Just, you know, with the size of it, it has a good hack to it, as opposed to like the Scallion. You don't want to hack anything with a Scallion. My only real complaint with this is just with the coating. It's not very scratch resistant. As you can see, I've got a lot of scratches in here. Probably, you can see. It's no big deal, but it just shows wear and tear much more than, say, a knife like this. But that's just, you know, comes with the territory of having a coated knife. I believe it's titanium nitride coating. I may be wrong about that, but it just looks cool, I think, and supposedly helps against rust and corrosion. It's just a great knife so far. It was much sharper than it is now, just so you know. It's a relatively large knife, as I said, but still extremely comfortable. It has all the weight in the handle, so it's not like, you know, it's hard to maneuver. You know, you can move it real quick. It's also very comfortable in reverse grip, and, you know, just regular grip, whatever. I recommend this to anybody as long as you can carry a knife that's bigger than 3 inches. You know, just overall, just solid knife. I really can't say much more than that. It doesn't have the slide lock that the Leek, the Chive, and the Scallion have, but it's no big deal. I think the trade-off with that is you've got to put more pressure on the flipper than the other knives. It's not that much of a difference, but it's noticeable compared to the Scallion. I think that's just the trade-off with having no lock on it. But anyway, again, this is the Kershaw Shallot 1840CKT. I'm Crispy990, and thanks for watching. Peace.